Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tony Onying show. Today we're going to be discussing something very interesting, and someone's about to walk into the studio. Just close your eyes a bit. Oh, there's a lady here. Gloria.
Yes, Tony.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you have for our guys out there?
How are you, our dear viewers? I just want to let you know that what we are here to discuss about will be amazing. And don't forget to subscribe and like.
Amazing. Amazing is indeed the word.
Yeah.
Gloria, this is Uganda.
Yeah, right.
East Africa.
It is.
Landlocked country.
Yeah.
But today we're not going to talk about Uganda. We're going to discuss something a bit mind-boggling.
Okay.
Politics in the universities.
Wow.
In the last couple of days, I'm sure this is not a Uganda-specific scenarios, but we've had different countries, different societies, the rise of politics in the high schools and the universities. Do you think the future of this generation is safe?
Well, on part of it is safe. Mm-hmm. And to the side of the parents, they may think, or we may think it's not right, or it's not safe.
Well, let me just try to bring this context home. We've had children in schools fight whenever there are elections in some prominent institutions.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that made headlines recently was when in some country there was an incident where a student died during a saga between two political parties.
Yeah, you're
this
right.
Kid was found dead, I don't know whether washrooms or wherever. What does that give you in terms of the future of politics, especially for the schools? Let's forget about the countries. Let's look at these young people and the universities in this case.
Well, to my side, I may look at it as something that will be, I may bring this word, I know it might be heavy for our viewers, but it will be something that is bloody. It's
very bloody. That is the point. Think about the parents out there. Do you think it's time to have that scrapped off and students contest on a neutral ticket?
If they have that opportunity, or if they can, it may be a good idea, but I don't think it is easy if it comes to students that are already involved in it.
What role do these political parties play in the lives of their candidates? Okay, let's try to narrow it down to the guild representatives. Do you think, we may not get the statistics right, but do you think political parties under which these student leaders stand sponsor them in any way? Do they give any financial support to these candidates standing to represent their flags?
Of course, if it comes to the guild presidents, those people are always being supported. Financially and psychologically, because even telling someone that you will make it, giving the person that courage that you're going to make it, that keep pushing.
Gloria, let's look at this thing. Let's not make this thing complicated. Let's look at the financial bit of it, the emotional bit. It's okay. Let's look at the finances. Do you think these political parties invest money in these candidates or not?
Like I said, they really support them.
How? You are dodging the point. The financial aspect. There's a financial aspect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They support them financially because not every candidate come up because he wants. Actually, some of them come up because they are given that money to push for that position.
Was there a problem with the neutral stand? By neutral, I mean, in the past, there was nothing like a political party under which a student is standing. There was nothing like, use of money and things of that kind. If the students want to put money, they're getting money from their parents at home, or they have colleagues contributing. Don't you think somehow we need to roll back to that world?
That's true, because actually I myself ever had that a role, or ever played a role in a school of which it was all about my capabilities. So nowadays it's all about money.
So your
With
point
having
here
cash.
is the institution need to streamline and let students work on drawing workable manifestos,
True that,
not by
true
virtue
that.
of the fact
Yeah.
that they belong to a certain political party.
That's very true.
So what you're telling us, Father, is that as parents, we need to try to discourage our children from participating into active politics while still at the institutions. Is that the point?
Well, it may not be discouraging, but you can bring it as a parent. You can bring it in a way of, you can bring it in a positive way.
How?
You give the negative side, and yes, they have to be with the positive
Sorry,
side.
politics,
But the negative
negatives.
part, the negative part is always always need to be discussed the more.
But you realize, I don't know why you are refusing to take the stand to say no to institutional politics. I wanted to look at this as a parent. Not sure whether you want, but look at it as a parent. There is no way, I know there is a saying that man is a political animal,
Yeah.
meaning that politics is in man, in all that they do. But I'm pretty sure that there's always a voice that will regulate what kind of politics or political aspects will come out of this person's mouth. We look at the current situations. It's very difficult, Gloria, to cry out loud that there will be a political gathering without people fighting for their people, fighting for their candidates. So as parents, be honest here. Do you think it's really something we need to push for? Seeing these college students dying. How do you think a parent who had invested highly in this child, a lot of hope for them, is burying their child? Do you think this student would have lost his life if there was no that political fight?
Of course, he wouldn't have lost his life, but Tony, I want to bring this into this aspect. There's some things that you can't just come up and control. So there should be some of the procedures to be followed, because politics is something that is already supported by many different people, and of which it is giving courage to students to keep getting involved in. So that it needs some of the procedures to be followed.
My understanding, my understanding again, Gloria, it takes us to one thing. I really don't know whether if we ask someone to give us a definition of politics, they're going to tell us politics is a dirty game. That's what they're going to say.
That's true.
If you ask anyone else what's politics, it's a dirty game. But then draw politics into the perspective of political science. We've had people, remember the likes of Martin Luther King. Remember the likes of one of the former presidents, Bill Clinton, talk about Barack Obama. Politics, to my understanding, is simply articulating your cause to the people.
That's very true.
That is politics. But now, where the kind of politics that we're running today is not literally politics, it is a political party. Students are focusing more on drawing their agenda. Their agenda, if at all, it's being built on a manifesto. It is built on a hate speech. It is built on a no-noble fight. If we roll these kids back to defining what the thesis of political science is, then it's going to be more user-friendly. It's true that we can separate man from politics, neither can we separate politics from man. But we can regulate behavior into what we want these people to do. Because think, here we're discussing universities. Even in kindergartens, these kids are now rising. What will happen if these kids realize that when I wear this color, I belong here, when I wear this color, I belong there? Imagine that kid from a kindergarten getting up to high schools, to the universities, with that kind of mentality, do you think the future is safe if we allow them to continue that way? Honestly.
Well, the future may not be safe. I still stick on my point, Tony. But these things of politics needs the guidance, to be guided, all the procedures by the government. The government can do that, but the parents can also do their part.
What will go if you were in government? What would you do?
Like we said at first, some of these leaders are being given some financial support to push them into politics or leadership. So if they stop that, at least someone may think if I'm to come up as a great president, I need to be having cash. And who's going to give me that cash? No one. So if you find there's no one to support you financially, you find it hard for you to come up as a leader. So that's how things will go. And another thing to the parents have to learn on how to raise the children, like from that stage, from the stage when they're still home, they keep guiding them about because politics always in schools bring conflict somehow, somewhere.
But you see, I like to define it with you, Gloria, again. For me, I would say stick to what I intended. When we find the rightful definition of political science, when we find the right definition of politics, and we abstain from politics being the perception of a dirty game, we are going to have a future in politics. When we are discussing government, my thinking is the fundamental role that government is going to play is more on the civic education. Because let me tell you, if the ruling government in a state comes up and says this should stop, opposition is going to say no, it's a violation of our rights. But civic education does not require a political identity. Civic education is about promotion of a cause and effect. If parents come through, they know my child. I've watched a couple of programs on the televisions. There are children who come out and articulate their ideas. If you find some of these young children, the pupils, they are saying we don't want a corrupt program. They are trying to make sure that if any political parties come, political parties should make sure that whoever identifies with them goes through a training program. Teach them how to become better orators. Teach them how to become better speakers. Teach them how to make sure that investment in their speeches is going to give them a better audience.
But wait, Tony, I bring it this way. Do you realize that some of these candidates or these students coming up as leaders, do you realize some of them, their parents are leaders, and sometimes it's like a bond?
It's a bond, and you're therefore telling me that in all these political sagas, like that child who was killed recently, according to the papers, the parents probably they had leadership attachments. Remember, I'm sure things come out when someone is being buried, eulogies and all those kind of things. What were the contribution of those parents to this child politically? Look at it from that perspective, Gloria. I'm not disputing the fact that politics is a bad thing. My key takeaway here is we need to redefine politics.
If you say that, it's very true, but I don't think it can be removed.
No.
It can be redefined, but not removed.
No, I've told you this, Gloria. Let's be honest here. We are not ruling out politics. Man is political. What has gone out is the definition, analysis. People are defining politics as a dirty game. The takeaway that I think we need to think through is the civic education.
True.
Take on both the political parties under which the students are standing, and also government as the lead provider or guide into this approach. I think it's something worth disturbing a bit, but I think in that case we won't go with the politics, but if we redefine the boundaries, I don't know how many years that will take. Probably, brother, when we get back, we could discuss more about the potential in this. I hope that gets our audience right. Thanks, guys, for joining us in the conversation. And thanks, Gloria, once again.
You're welcome, Tony.
Good.
Thanks for hosting me.
Definitely. I know COVID is still there. I'm told.
I know.
But make sure you all friend sanitize. Thanks guys for joining us on the
Thanks,
Tony
guys.
show. And thanks to our Princess Gloria. Many call her Gigi. Gigi, welcome. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. Thanks, our dear viewers.
See you guys once again. So this has been it for the day. Catch you again in a day's time. Bye-bye. Subscribe.